Jacinta Allen is facing her biggest test, with pressure building over why she didn't act sooner on Cfmeu thuggery and corruption allegations.
We all know that Victoria is mired in debt due to financial mismanagement and poorly restrained corruption.
The Cfmeu controls the biggest contractors on the biggest government jobs in Victoria.
The now Premier has been the front woman for every transport project started since December 2014.
Just because Victorians vote a government in doesn't mean that there is a blanket mandate to do whatever they like, however they like, with taxpayer dollars.
Things do cost what they cost.
There's a fee to get the EBA.
Yep.
I think the upfront fee is cash.
An election once every 4 years is not good enough. Democracy and accountability are owed to every single Victorian every single day.
Why did it take you a year to respond?
What have you got that shows that they were put to me in writing?
I have letters.
The public have a right to know how their tax dollars are spent. Exactly.
Who's paying for it? Well, it's the taxpayer, it's the consumer, it's state and federal governments.
The truth is, Victorians aren't even shocked anymore when we find out about corruption and misuse of our taxpayer dollars. We don't even raise an eyebrow when the next IBAC investigation reveals negligent and corrupt procurement processes involving unions.
Continually talk about grey corruption, so it's worth talking about, isn't it?
And we can't even be bothered to roll our eyes when we hear that nobody in the government can recall how it all went wrong.
I can't specifically recall.
Or who was responsible for the creeping assumptions that led them all innocently astray.
Do you know who it was?
No, I don't.
And we laugh so we don't cry when we find out yet again that a quick party refund to taxpayers,
taxpayer funds were misallocated by Labor. That money has since been paid back.
Or a single sentence apology will do for consequences.
I take full responsibility for all of that conduct, and I apologise for it.
Because so-and-so doesn't even work there anymore.
And that staff member was sacked.
And they promise Victorians, hand over heart, that they'll learn from all these very educational investigation reports.
We're grateful for that educational report and those 17 findings.
Victorians have faithfully paid their taxes, their local government rates, their parking fines, their levies. Small businesses and big businesses alike faithfully paid the mental health levy, the payroll taxes, and spent extra money to meet the ever-increasing red tape requirements of this government. But decade after decade, Victorians have had to watch more and more of their hard-earned money go out of their own pockets into the government coffers.
Taxpayers are currently forking out $15 million a day just in interest repayments, thanks to the state's soaring debt.
They have fulfilled their half of the social contract, and the government claims to have fulfilled theirs.
I did a story 10 years ago, which was a replica of the story we did last night, except it's gotten worse in that 10 years, and that's after a Royal Commission.
The fact is that it is not in the public interest that the burden of proof, time, effort and money is on them. They have a right to know how their tax dollars are being spent.
And I've been overwhelmed by responses from small businesses, from small construction companies who say finally this is now out in the public, but in the industry everyone knew about it.
That burden should be shifted to the government and those who they enter into contracts with.
Within the ALP, it's also really well known.
And you little germ, you think I won't you up too?
Given the billions and billions of dollars spent by local government, state government and all of their departments on contracts.
A whole lot harder for both the state and federal governments to say they were shocked by these allegations.
And transparency reduces the risk of error, failure and corruption and ensures that our taxpayers are getting value for money.